Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Elegant Dev Show. I am your host, the Elegant Dev, and today we'll be discussing how to deal with imposter syndrome. If you're not familiar with the concept, it's basically the unpleasant feeling that you're simply not good enough. Okay, let's try to define it now, shall we? Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt overwhelmed at work? Have you ever felt like you simply don't belong at your company? Maybe the interviewers just made a mistake. Have you ever walked away from a job interview because you felt you simply wouldn't make the cut? No? Just me? Really? Okay then, but since I am a lead software engineer, let me also ask you this. Have you ever felt like suddenly everyone is better than you at writing code, leading teams, mentoring others, and delivering quality products? The point of these questions is to let you know that if you've ever felt like a fraud, you know exactly what imposter syndrome is, whatever line of work you might be in. What you might not realize is that we've all been there. In my case, I still am. I feel like this pretty much every other day. And I guess that, like a lot of other people, I've simply become a bit better at pushing down my doubts and controlling my insecurities. The point I'm trying to make is that there are ways to deal with it. Let me share a couple of tips that you should keep in mind if and when imposter syndrome resurges. But before we get into that, if you're interested in more content like this, feel free to check out my other videos. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit the notification icon if you want to be up to date with my channel. You and I both know that there are and always will be people who know more than you about something, or even about a lot of things, especially in software engineering and computer science. And that's completely normal and absolutely fine. There will always be people who are better at the job and know more about it. What you need to remember is that at one point they weren't and didn't. They simply did the work and spent the time, and you could do the same. So if you suddenly want to go and learn something new, go for it. Being excited and passionate about your job will make it a lot easier. For example, the first mobile app I created only exists because I was excited to learn a new programming language. And I remember that the first time I was leading a team, I had no idea what I was doing. I probably did a horrible job, but I really wanted to do it and to get better. I guess I'm trying to say a couple of things here. You should always be passionate and always be learning new things. And that knowledge eventually transitions to wisdom as you gain the hindsight of experience. This one is a bit more specific to my experience and my industry, but I do believe that it can be applied beyond it. Okay, here we go. Not having a computer science degree does not mean that you will never become a great software engineer. Wow, that's a lot of negatives. Let's see if I can actually do any better, shall we? You can become a great software engineer even if you don't have a computer science degree. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that there is no value in getting a computer science degree, quite the contrary in fact. Of course, learning the fundamentals at university is an incredible head start. It's much better than trying to do it on your own time when you're actually working a day job. Believe me, I know. But the good news is that you actually can learn it. As always, it simply takes lots of time and effort. And you need that knowledge to become a decent developer. The following is valid for any line of work, but you simply must be amazing at the simple stuff before you can become great at the more advanced and complex things. Now, as someone who stumbled into software engineering from another field, I can honestly tell you that it sometimes feels like an endless game of tag in which I'll never actually be able to catch anyone. I have been the person in the room who has zero idea what's going on and what to think about it. My lack of knowledge has caused delays in projects. I have made mistakes that people who knew more than me never would have made. And at that time, I just wanted to catch up to those people. I was constantly worried about what I knew and what I could do compared to my colleagues, and I shouldn't have done that. because there is no game. You should only be comparing yourself to the person you were yesterday. Realizing this changed everything for me. It really helped me understand that I should just try to do my best each and every day, to keep learning, growing and improving, especially as I ended up leading a team. I know now that personal example has an incredible impact on those around you. So keep that in mind as you take on the next challenge. Let me share one more secret. Imposter syndrome doesn't ever really go away. Or at least, not completely. Your title doesn't matter, the amount of responsibility you carry does not matter. It never really goes away. Yet, on the bright side, you do get better at dealing with the symptoms. And one thing which has really helped me a lot is taking the time to remember the victories. Because looking back, I have done quite a few things I'm really proud of. It could be anything from the tiniest problem you solved to a situation where your skills, knowledge or attitude helped your entire team. So do give it a try, because whatever industry you might be in, even if you're just starting out, you will have solved at least some difficult problems. And thinking about those moments of triumph can be very liberating and helpful. And the best thing is, as we advance in our careers, we get more of these happy, shiny moments to keep us going. We must do our best not to forget how easy it is to allow doubt and despair to take over. And it's so very difficult to maintain an objective view about your successes and failures. But this is exactly what we must do to keep imposter syndrome at bay each and every day. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, this will be all for this episode of the Elegant Dev Show. But before we end the video, please let me know, what do you think about imposter syndrome? Have you ever had to deal with this unpleasant feeling? And how did you manage to rise above it? I would love to know that, so please leave a comment down below. Finally, if you found this video useful, you can let me know by simply smashing the like button. Thank you all for watching, and remember, stay elegant, exceptional and extremely professional, and I will see you in the next one.